So I got my home like back in March 2022. So it's like a very big backyard for me. And I got the pricing done by different contractors. So it was too huge for my budget. Okay. But when I met this guy with whom I'm currently working on, okay, so he gave me like a very cheap quote. And then I felt like, okay, this is the best guy like I can go with because I've seen his work at a couple of places. So he's doing even neighbors places only. So I felt like, okay, he's doing a good work. And then I started working for his.
So the first step was he came as a referral to you.
Yes.
And then you saw his work.
His work.
So you were convinced that he can do it.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then I started giving money for his labor, and then I started getting my material by myself. So I got the material, and then we started doing work. All is going well until August 2022.
August. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at one point of time, he said like, okay, I went to get my turf, and then I want to get my ledger stone for all the packet pinches done and everything. So he said like, okay, so at the places where you're going, they're quoting you a lot of price for you. So I decided like, okay, I asked him like how much you can get it for. He said like, okay, I can get it like a 25% lesser price. So it could save around $3,000 to $4,000 for you. That's where I fall into his trap. And then me along with my friends, you very huge amount of money. Yeah. And then once he got the money, he started pushing the things like,
Forever.
yeah, he says always like every week, 1 month or like 2 months, we revised our like dates for a couple of times already. Still, we're in the same place where we are like back in August 2022.
You have to use licensed contractors, right? But if you, for some weird reason that you decide to go with unlicensed contractors, you have to understand the risk with that. And one of the biggest risk is the guy is going to take the money and he's going to disappear, regardless of how nice he's a talker is, regardless of how many jobs he did for your friends. You have to assume that risk. If you assume that risk, don't pay that guy upfront. Even if he says, I can get the material 25-30% cheaper, if you pay it, then assume that it's gone.
Yeah.
In
Even with when you're working with the unlicensed contractor, make sure you are getting your contractor personal details well.
But even if the personal details are there, you can't do anything, right?
We can't do anything, but at least like at the point like when needed to have his contractor or to contact him legally, we will have his details. Because like I came across few people who doesn't have his details at all.
Right.
So they gave money back in 2021, and still because they didn't know like where to go. Just like following up with him, just because they don't have his contact details, except his personal number, the mobile number.
Okay, so at least you take the driver's license, but my position of this is always use license, guys, because ROC's charter is to protect the public from people who are doing illegal work, right? So, but worst case, you get your driver's license. That way, even if you have to serve a notice, at least you have that. But driver's license, getting a driver's license, like a fake driver's license, because you ask anybody who is under 18, they can get you a fake driver's license. It's so easy to get in the market. You can order it online and he can probably present it with his picture. So we have to be careful, and that's not really full. So is my point.
I engaged with my contractor, right? He said he's a licensed contractor. When I got started into this project, I don't know what's a contractor. What's a contractor mean? Like what's LLC? So when I'm doing my research, I came to know like okay, he's just having LLC. He's showing that as his contractor.
Right. See, LLC, anybody can go to the Corporation Commission, the Secretary of State office, and you can open LLC. Like anybody can open an LLC. An illegal person can open LLC. Anybody can open an LLC and say, this is my company. When due diligence comes, like if you're trying to get the work done, they have to be registered with the contractors, right? They have to be in the ROC database. Confirm that it's a company. Otherwise, I might be selling greeting cards. I'll have an LLC too. And it doesn't mean anything, right? That's the point you're trying to make. Go with the guy. If I like that guy, if I like him smile, I just jump the gun and go with it, especially if they come as a referral.
So first step, it's educate yourself. It's what do you want to do? First of all, let's say you want to remodel a shower. You have to know. Church, check So Arizona Registrar of Contractors, AZROC. You just check if they have a license. Here's the thing that we see. There are many times that people have Handyman license, which I have nothing against Handyman. I really appreciate them and respect them. But their license is not for the do showers. They have license for small things. Their license up
to $1,000, right? Yeah, I heard $1,000.
So there are companies who they have license up to $50,000, and there are companies who have license millions of dollars. So you have to research what this license is about. So check the contractor. Once you research the contractor, then you call them. So you give him a call. And let's say I call Sunil. Sunil is a contractor. I want to see how he's going to talk to me. If he answers to me nice, if he's going to pick up the phone. If he cannot pick up the phone, I'll wait for him to call me back. But if he doesn't call me for 24 hours, 48 hours, that means the contract is gone.
At least the customer service. But what if this customer service is good? He calls and he's a sweet talker and he texts.
But here's the thing. Once you do research and you check what license they have, and you talk to them, and he's nice, then I'll have him come and give him an idea. Do you have the meeting with contractor? So this is number 3. Number 1.
Educate yourself. Have the scope. Like you have to understand the scope. Draw it out. Say, this is exactly what I want to do. Have it clear picture. Don't expect the contractor to tell you what you need to get done, because a lot of contractors are there to just work your dream, right?
Absolutely. Contractors are there to take the job. A lot of them, and they'll tell, oh, you need this extra. Oh yeah, this needs to be gone too. Oh, this is. That's why you educate yourself. You want the shower done, focus on the shower.
Okay.
So watch some videos, watch some stuff that you can ask people who did it before you or whatever. Just find some ideas. Number 2, research the contractor.
But as an individual, if I don't have time to research on the contractor, and I reach out to ROC and then get more details about the contractor, rather than I'm doing that research, right?
The ROC is going to give you just their name. So it's your job to check what the proper license he has. You can call them and ask them, hey, I want to ask if this XYZ contractor has the license to remodel my shower. They might tell you that, oh, yes, he can do the shower, but he cannot do the plumbing. He cannot do electrical.
But Nick, if let's say somebody by name Anthony, let's say, like Anthony says he wants to do this job, then I search his name on the ROC website. When I call the ROC and say, okay, I'm trying to get landscaping done with Anthony, is he licensed to do that? Like I'm trying to do bathroom remodel with him. Will the ROC tell us that?
Let's say that once you check the ROC is going to give you, the ROC is going to put the information, the name, Anthony XYZ, there's going to come out the name. And there's going to be the name if he has a license. Look, if he does have a license, if you call him, but on the bottom, you'd see if he had any lawsuits. Oh, it tells you that if he had any issues or not, they'll be showing there. But also the best is to check reviews. Check reviews.
But that's like, even in my case, right? I tried to check for the reviews. I didn't find any place to check the reviews on this guy, like with whom I'm working on. So there will be so many other companies as well, like whereas like the licensed contractors, right? So they might not have the enough reviews on the internet. But how do I get more details about such guys?
See, this is what it is, right? You have to take a chance. If there is no reviews, that means it's a red flag for me. Because if that guy if that is the first job that he's ever doing in his life, that's a red flag right there. We don't want to be the first guy, right? He should first work on a job for his mom, his sister, his brother, or somehow manage to get a review. If he doesn't have any trackable validation, that's a red flag. Because see, ultimately, for license, this is what it is. Like I have real estate license and a mortgage license, and I pay the board of real estate, and they have to know if my address changed within 10 days. They have to know if I get arrested within 10 days. They have to know if there is a lawsuit within 10 days. So that is the purpose of license. If that guy doesn't have a license, it's a red flag. If that guy doesn't have a review, it's a red flag.
Absolutely.
Even though it's coming as a referral from the best friend, the best intention. Because as a real estate agent, I refer people out of best intention. Let's say hypothetically I refer John to you best intention, because John, I know he did a job before, but if John doesn't have reviews, it's a red flag according to me, based on what I'm hearing. If John is not in ROC, of course it's a red flag, but even not having reviews is a red flag by itself in this day and age.
We did a job, and I cannot say where, but in Arizona. And I was told from the homeowners that the contractor paid $25,000 down payment for the kitchen remodel, and he's gone. So I did a job for this contractor who he paid $14,000 for a framer to come and put some trashes. He paid the money. The guy's gone. So they called the police, and I don't know how that works now, but here's the thing. You already paid the money. And in this case, on the lady on the kitchen remodeling, she got the name and number from her friend from church.
With the best intention. That's what I'm saying. With the best intention.
Would I use it? If they don't have reviews, no.
No. Yes.
Because we are in 21st century. Everybody wants reviews.
But like with the research I have done, right, going with a licensed contractor is always whether he's have experience or doesn't have experience. The reason why it is because in the register of contractors, it says if he is a licensed contractor and is not doing the job as expected, then so ROC has a different layers of process. The first process, they'll inspect the work that was done by the contractor. And then the second, and then immediately they'll send a notice if he's not doing as per the expectation set by the state. Okay, and the next is he will be given 30 days. Okay, he will be given 15 days to address that specific inspection results. Okay, and if he doesn't respond to that, he will be prosecuted. And then during the prosecution, if he's not able to pay the money, the register of contractors will pay the money to the complainant from their funds, because they have the insurances covered through the whoever is registered through the license, whoever is registered as a licensed contractor.
Right. So, yes, racial contractors will always is going to be in your side. So yes,
yeah, they're there to protect the public.
I don't know how that works with other contractors. I just tell you for the flooring contractors, I have a flooring contractor. I have to warranty the job for 2 years.
Got it.
So if it goes that I don't perform the way it's supposed to be, then you call racial contractors, AZROC, you call them, they come in, they have the inspector, and they'll come in and they'll tell me, or they'll tell you, hey, Mr. Sunil, this job is not correct. They don't need to fix. Or, Mr. Nick, this job is not that correct. This needs to be taken out, maybe need to fix. Guess what? I have to fix it. It's no way out. So yes. But here's the thing. Do you want that headache, the stress that brings to you and your family to have the house with no cabinets or with no shower for weeks? So would you like that? It's just, this is why you always check. You do your homework. You check the contractor, make sure that they are licensed, make sure they have reviews. I've seen in some videos that some people say that, oh, they don't have a place of business, then it's a red flag. Not necessarily. I do have a place of business, but I worked without a place of business. I worked out my home as an office for years, and we never had anything. So I don't see it as a red flag. What I see as a red flag, no reviews. Or if they're in business for 5-10 years and they have 4 or 5 reviews and they have the same last name, I see it as a red flag.
Yeah.
Because don't you love when somebody does a job to you and you go without him asking? You go on like, hey, this company did this.
Yes, it means to do that.
Everybody loves that. I've done it to other people that didn't even ask me. I just wanted that.
But then this is the thing, right? So I feel there is a misconception that if you are licensed, then your pricing is higher. Is it true that non-licensed people are cheaper than licensed people, or it varies?
So here's the thing. It's the unlicensed people that have no overhead.
They don't have insurance.
They don't have insurance. So I pay insurance for my truck. I pay insurance for my business. I pay insurance for my building. I pay insurance for everything. Workman's compensation, everything. So I have to have everything. But here's the thing. Are you willing to take a chance?
I'm not taking a chance.
Even with contractors, their contractor was going to give you for a shower $10,000. There's going to be a contractor who's going to give you $20,000. So there are two types of contractors, in my opinion. It's one that gives you the value, and one that gives you the quality. The one that gives you the quality is going to charge way more because the stuff that he used, it's way better quality. His workers are better, and he's very secure that, yes, we're going to give you the best job. If you cannot afford it, it's different stuff. But the other contractors, value. Companies, they use contracts for flipping homes. There's nothing wrong, but they use the cheaper quality stuff to get it done fast. So yes.
So Nick, I agree with everything that you say, but this is my personal experience. I've used unlicensed contractors before successfully, right? I've never been, but it's just a matter of time. But this is for critical jobs wherein it's a shower or plumbing or something major. I always go with licensed people. But even if it's unlicensed person, if let's say somebody comes as a referral, he has good reviews, and then you have come to realize, let's say he's unlicensed, right? I think you should still get a quote. Well, you should call a licensed person, get a quote, and try to work the deal out and see what is the risk reward here. And ultimately, I'm saying we should not use unlicensed people because the headache, even you pay 2,000, 3,000 of your hard-earned money, it's not worth the headache. I mean, why to put ourselves to the headache? Unless the job cost like double or triple is different, but you can tell the licensed contractor, hey, this guy is offering to do it for this price. Will you be able to maybe pay 10% more for your overhead and still do it? And that is better option.
When you're looking for an unlicensed contractor, or you're looking for somebody that does cheaper, don't expect to get the same thing. Don't expect. It's not going to happen. Doesn't matter what they tell you, it's not going to happen.
So, and even with when I go for a licensed contractor, like, so can I go with a timeline on when they can complete, or like?
Everybody has to give you a timeline.
The scope and timeline has to be there and signed, and you need to have it in writing, because we should just assume for every job, we should just assume that if something happens, will it make you be relaxed, right? For that to happen, you need to have scope. Like he said, educate yourself. You need to have scope clearly identified. Do a picture of the work and then exactly specify, like whatever makes sense for you, you have to draw it so that the contract, there is nothing lost in communication. Then you need to have a deadline, of course, that only then it's a valid contract. But summarize that first we need to have the scope clear. And when the job is completed, we need to go back. We need to pull up the same document and go through it. Problem lot of times happens, Sunil, is when people change the scope. That's when the contractors get big, and also that will give them an opportunity to break the contract. And that's when the disputes arise. Even with licensed contractors, I've seen the scope creep is where it's going to really mess up stuff. So that's why the first fundamental stuff that we have is there. So now,
Yeah. So when we're working with someone, make sure you're checking the LLC details on the corporation commission. That's the first step. And the next step would be see whether the individual is registered as a contractor in the ROC. So these are the basic 2 steps that every individual has to follow before they go with the contract. Any contract.
see, the purpose of we talking for the last few minutes is try always to use a licensed contractor, even though the job is going to escalate by 10, 15, 20%. Because if something goes wrong, you'll know where to go, right? But if pricing is really bothering you, then try to squeeze the scope, right? Try to squeeze the scope to adjust your budget, or get the quote from the unlicensed guy and try to negotiate with the licensed contractor to see where you can cut corners with that. But going with an unlicensed guy, we are just hearing horror stories where people are losing hard-earned money. So, before I conclude, I want you to add any other tips. Like, would you use an unlicensed contractor for anything? I mean, as a consumer, I'm asking. If I ask me, you said use.
So in experience I got now, definitely I will say no.
No.
I'll say the same to any one of my friends or anyone who comes to me now. Because whether it is like a 50,000 project or like 100K project, always go with a licensed contractor. And no one should see themselves like the way I am currently in. So,
Okay, let me add one tail to this, right? Okay. even if the unlicensed contractor finishes the job, let's say hypothetically it's a happy ending. What happens if there is a big rain or a big some natural calamity? I've seen in flooring wherein like one of the tiles just dips like that. If he's unlicensed, you can't because that guy keeps changing his phone numbers. You cannot find him. If it's a licensed contractor, just like Nick said, the job is warranted, so it will be worth the 10 to 20% price creep on that.
But he started with something, and that was a red flag when he started the conversation. He said, I didn't have the budget. That's where it goes to go educate yourself. Go. You have to have an idea of what's going on.
Realistic
You
expectations.
said that you had contractors that they came and give you, and they were so high, and this guy comes and gives you so cheap. That was a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Okay. And also one more thing to add, like even if you're working with a licensed contractor, look for their names in the ROC, the defaulters list. So whether they have been, because ROC maintains the defaulters list at rest all the time. So make sure the contractor with whom you are working on is not in the defaulter list.
You said that, hey, you didn't have it. That was, you wait until you have it.
Or change the scope.
Yeah.
Change the
Then
scope.
you
of
can
the
say,
work.
how about this? How about that? How about this?
Yeah. So I want to wrap up this call. Now, if you think that you've been screwed by any of these unlicensed activities, especially landscapers, Sunil has been spearheading this movement wherein he's trying to put together people who've been scammed on this, and as a legal team that he's putting together. So if you've been any of that, so reach out to us and we'll put you in touch with Sunil, and then we'll see where it goes. And it's very obvious that you have to be very careful. If you're not informed on this, hopefully this YouTube video is going to help, but not knowing is not an excuse, because you are expected to know, and if you don't know, you'll be scammed again.
And also, if you had any issues with a contractor that you did a job and there was something wrong, you have to go to roc.az.gov. And that's where the Register of Contractors website is, that you can search for their names. You can call ROC and they'll send somebody to come and check the job.
So Nick, how can people reach you? Your specialty is bathroom remodels, right?
We do bathroom remodels, we do showers, we do floors, carpet, like luxury vinyl planks, tiles, and we're at ToscaniFlooring.com. We're also, you can call us anytime, 480-557-3700.
You're licensed, right?
Licensed by